Hello, everybody. It's me, Kathy Miller, live in flesh, really. It's been so long. I can't believe it. It has been 9 weeks since we've met here at the Fairland Senior Center. And if you're calculating, 9 weeks means it's been 63 days. Or if you want it to really sound long, it's been 1,575 hours. That's a long time. And that's why I wanted to come to you today from here for our first edition of Kathy's Corner. I'm obviously at the Senior Center. Chuck is here with me today, and he's going to take us on just a little short trip around the room. You can see how everything has been cleaned and is spiffy and shiny. Chuck and Jerry came over and they worked at scrubbing and waxing the floors. The tables have all been cleaned. The chairs are up, staying nice and clean. I even took all those little thingies off of the end of the chairs and the tables. There's Chuck. Say hi, everybody. Hi, Chuck. Anyway, we washed them. We've got them all ready. So when it is time for us to meet again, everything will be nice and clean for us. And you can see the green grass out the window there. It's a good day. I wanted you to feel at home. And so I asked our dear gardener man, Mr. Don Rayburn, to please supply us with these beautiful flowers. These are pennies, believe it or not, or peonies or pineys, depending on how you pronounce it. Yellow ones, and I believe this is a bleeding heart, and Don's gonna call and tell me if that's not right. But beautiful, and they smell heavenly. I wish that you could smell them. Don has been a real sweetheart on my trips back from my home to Fairland, and I've made lots of them back and forth to my daughter's house or my son's house. We are all isolating together, if you will. And I would drive past Don and Deanie's, and they had all these daffodils, and they said, Kathy, stop anytime you want to and pick daffodils. And they only had to tell me once. And I had daffodils in my house for a month. It was wonderful. It was just absolutely wonderful. Anyway, it's been a long time, and I'll be so glad when we get a chance to gather here together. But it's still going to be a while before that happens. I think we all agree we can see a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, but in the meantime, on Thursdays at 11 o'clock, you will see Kathy's Corner. This is not a live presentation. We're recording it earlier, and thanks to that pretty little exercise girl of ours, Liz Offinger, Liz is going to help me get this together so that we can still kind of have Fairland Seniors a little bit between now and whenever that next time we gather will be. When Kim Kale, my boss, asked me what it was I wanted to name this little segment, I thought, oh geez, let's make it vague. That's how I came up with Kathy's Corner, because I want to be able to do things different depending on what happens each week, what happens with me, or what kind of ideas I get from you. That's one thing for sure that I want to do, is have input from you, because you, the seniors, are what made Fairland special. All of you, not just you local yokels where we all started, but even that extended family of ours that encompasses that fabulous First Thursday Euchre group. My goodness, wouldn't it be fun to be able to have a noisy, crowded, can't get through the room because it's so busy day? So, oh well, we'll dream about that one, okay? We'll dream about that. And in the meantime, we'll have these little get-togethers. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do every week. But there are some things I do know I want to have happen each week. Since I'm a music person and my music has really been slow the last 3 months, except for church stuff, I think we better have a little music each time. If it's just a sing-along of a couple tunes with you and me, or as we move down the road a little bit and it's easier to travel from one place to another and not be feeling like you are avoiding a mandate from the state. I'll invite some of my friends to come and join me too. So anyway, yesterday when I was planning this out, the sun was just shining through the window, just shining, and I thought, well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a couple sun songs for our first Kathy's Corner together. So won't you join me, okay? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, just how much I love you. Oh, please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, I was mistaken, and I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Oh, please don't take my sunshine away. Oh, please don't take my sunshine away. Very good. I could almost hear Paul Sanders singing harmony with me on that one. Oh, how I miss a room full of people singing. I really, really do. You can only listen to yourself so much, you know? So it'll happen. It will happen. So my challenge for you this week is to think about sun songs. Write me a note, either send it to me via email, or if you want to send me a note in the mail and spend 50 cents or whatever to do it, that's fine too. But you can email me at kmiller@shelbyseniorservices.org. I had that written out on a paper at home, and like always, I left it at home. I had to leave something at home. It wouldn't have been me, right? So think of sun songs, all the sun songs you can think of, and I'll report back next week and let you know what kind of cool ideas I had for you, or you had for me. Another one of my favorite sun songs is one that was written by Jimmy McHugh. Robin and I had the opportunity of getting to know Jimmy McHugh's niece, Dorothy, who is named after Dorothy Fields, the lyricist. And she's a neat person, lives over in Columbus, Ohio. And so I always think of Dorothy when we do this song of her uncle's. Grab your coat and get your hat, leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter-pat and the happy tune in your step? Life could be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. I'm not afraid this rover's crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. That's a great song. It's a great song that really needs accompaniment with it. I probably don't want to hear that back, or I would re-record it. But I'm not going to do it. One take, that's what this is today. So there's two songs. You Are My Sunshine, Sunny Side of the Street. When I was in high school, John Denver was a big star at the time. And of course, you remember Sunshine on My Shoulders. Beautiful song. Google that on YouTube and listen to that this week. And I have a new song that Robin has put on our list of tunes to learn. He just sent it to me last week. It was written in 1929, and it's called Painting the Clouds with Sunshine. It is a gem of a song. And I challenge you to Google that one and listen to it. Look for the Bing Crosby version. 1951 is when he made it. And great song, great song. So get back with me on those sun songs, and we'll see what kind of theme we can have next week for either our sing-along or our guest musicians. I'm not sure quite what's going to happen. But always count on some kind of music. Always count on that. Also, the thing I want to do every week is feature some of you, because it's you that makes this place what it is. You're thinking, what could I do? Well, you could do lots of things, and we can videotape with your phone. If you'd say, oh, we don't have one of those fancy phones, Kathy, we could just have a chat. I could come by your house, sit 6 feet away from you, okay, with a mask on, and you can chat with me and just tell me what you've been doing and what you've been missing and how you've spent your time these past 9 long weeks. Or if you have a special hobby that you've been spending time doing, don't say, I don't have hobbies, because earlier this year, we had people come in to one of our meetings. For instance, looky here. For those of you that were here that day, can you remember when Dick Hanahan came in with this wonderful gourd cat that he made? He had all kinds of things that he had made out of gourds. Linda helped him. She does some painting on them. He also carves. He had these beautiful wooden birds that he carved. So if you do something like that, you could surprise me with something like that, either in the video that you send me or the one that we record. Marilyn Hertzer, bless her heart, she packed up her little tiny basket collection. She had a couple little teeny tiny baskets that you probably could have put 15 of them in one hand. They were such intricate little pieces of art. So that was a fun thing. So there's another idea. If you've been putting together jigsaw puzzles, take some pictures of those jigsaw puzzles and send them to me. I know we've got puzzlers out there. And of course, Don Rayburn could provide for us every single day something exciting that he collects. This was his Vaseline glass collection that he brought in. This was an old appliance that he used in his beauty shop when he cut hair, that you'd put your utensils, your combs and things in to sterilize. It had like an ultraviolet light in it. And that's the secret about Vaseline glass, to see if it's real. If you shine one of those kind of lights on it, it'll glow, and like something from Mars. It was really cool. And all of us were fascinated with this little tiny flashlight that he had that has a blue light in it, and you could shine it on there. We all wanted flashlights by the time the day was over. So think about what you have that you would like to bring to us, to show us and talk to us about. Maybe you've been on an interesting trip, not in the past few weeks, of course, because the interesting trips have been to the grocery store probably, right? Or the drugstore, and you just drive up to the window or drive up to the sign. That's what I've been doing. I have not not ventured out at all. I've wanted to be safe so that I could be safe for all of you, so that I could be safe for everybody that I love, and I didn't carry something on my own that I didn't even know I had out to somebody else. So we still need to be careful like that. And in our little segments with you, I promise to be careful. I promise. Chuck's given me what's that mean?
15 minutes.
I've already talked for 15 minutes. And I was worried that I was going to have trouble filling a segment like this. Oh, well, I guess not.
I wasn't worried.
Of course you weren't worried. Of course you weren't worried. Chuck and I have had a wonderful time getting to reconnect with one another. It's been a long 9 weeks. One thing for sure, I have continued to practice my culinary skills. So if you're wondering if we're going to eat, Chuck's rubbing his belly at the moment. Yes, I still know how to cook. I've been cooking a lot because since my house has been a safe place for my family, my son has shown up a lot. My grandson's there sometimes twice a day, bless his little heart, growing boy Jackson. Tiffany's kids have been over to eat, so been doing plenty of cooking. You don't need to worry about that. Chuck has been watching lots and lots of television. He is a sports nut, and since there have been very few sporting events for him to watch, I have seen lots of things from 1960 when I didn't watch sports. 1970s when I didn't watch sports, 80s, 90s. Anyway, it's okay, Chuck. It's okay. It's okay. Which brings me to something else I want to share with you. Cindy Miller, one of our seniors, is a very creative lady. Y'all know her. Cindy has been taking this social distancing very seriously. She's been at her home just hardly not out for even longer than this 9-week period. And she's a real creative gal. She paints, she loves to play cards, she reads a lot, and she writes. I knew that she wrote poems because she's written poems for me for church, and she's written poems for our seniors. But I was talking with her on the phone the other day, and she said, you know, I've got some things at home in a file here that I wrote a few years back that might be kind of fun to share if you're looking for filler time. And I said, absolutely, I'm looking for things that I don't have to come up with. And I went through several of her essays, I guess maybe we would call them. They're things she had shared in a writing class. And I found one that I thought was really, really kind of cute I wanted to share today, especially since we kind of touched on that, what it would be like to be home with somebody all the time. Chuck and I, neither one are retired, and I've always kind of wondered what that might be 20 years from now. If we continue to keep getting frost on the crops, that may actually be the truth 20 years from now. Anyway, Cindy had this piece that she wrote for when she had just recently retired, and it's really, really interesting. It's called Retired with Herbie. He had the house all to himself before I retired. I'll admit, I wondered how he would adjust to having to share his space and time with me. I thought he was looking forward to having me here 24/7. But does he feel that way after several weeks? Am I getting on his nerves? Do I drive him up the wall? There are many things that we do together that he loves. Walks, drives, just being outside on a warm day. He doesn't care much for shopping. I haven't found anything that grabs his interest when it comes to shopping. Winter is coming, and we will have to adapt to being in the house together most all day and every evening. Would you believe that he has almost no interest in watching sports on TV? How many males do you know that can ignore those Monday night football games? None that I know. He should develop some interests of his own, if you ask me. I can't be responsible to entertain both of us, and I won't even try. Will he resent the time I choose to spend away from him? Will my evenings out with friends cause him distress? My guess is yes, and I don't know what to do about it. I try to be a good companion, and I've even gone along with him on hunting trips. Another time, we went on a bird watching excursion together. His idea of fun and mine just seemed to be miles apart. Until I retired, I didn't realize how content he was to do nothing. I mean, this guy is happy to lie on the bed and snooze the biggest part of the afternoon. He's developed a heightened interest in motorcycles in the past month. Maybe it's a part of that second childhood you hear so much about, or maybe it was always there and I just didn't notice. He races to the window to see one that goes by, and I know it upsets him because he just can't have one. I don't think a retiree's budget should stretch to cover a motorcycle. It's probably just a passing fad anyway. I find myself taking a step backwards and almost falling over him. He's pretty quiet, and I'm surprised to find him so close by. But there is one sure way to summon him from any part of the house. All I have to do is to prepare myself a snack, and he must have radar because there he is. Who fixed the snacks for him before I retired? An upcoming vacation will mean a few days apart. I'm not leaving him home all alone. That would be cruel. I just haven't had the nerve to tell him yet about the kennel. But I'm sure he will like it there. I hope. To have you going, Chuck?
Yes, it
Did
is.
you know where you were going with that? Where Cindy was going with that? That was really cute, Cindy. Cindy Miller, thank you. And I don't know how many other folks out there have talents hidden like that you can share with us. I'm sure there are. So get in touch with me, like I said, at kmiller@seniorservices.org. Email me. I still haven't got a Facebook account. Maybe next week if I decide it's something I want to learn new. Haven't done it yet. But email me. I will get that for sure. And if you're willing for me to come and do a little porch chat or whatever, write me and let me know that. We'll have good ideas. I know one thing we're going to do is we're going to take a trip down to Don and Deanie Rayburn's once more of their flowers are out, as long as we don't get a whole bunch of frost again. And we will do a day down there and probably do flower songs. So be thinking about that as well. So in order to fulfill my promise that we would have at least one person, one of you each week, be a part of Kathy's Corner, I thought it was only fitting that we invite today to have our own queen say a few words for us. I stopped by the Queen's home last night with my mask and had a lovely chat with her. And thanks to her daughter, Karen, and her son, Max, she is going to bring you a little message right now.
And now, a word from our queen.
Hello, my subjects. I hope this finds I hope this finds you all well and happy. As you can see, I am doing just fine, just doing real fine. Now, what was I doing now? What was I doing? Well, I'm just fine. But anyhow, that was just a little funny thing we put in there. I am doing just fine. But as most of you know, I have lost my place here. I thought I was doing fine, but I guess I'm not. Okay. So I still have, I'm doing just fine, but I still have a few things that are not working. But, you know, you can't buy those things at the Walmart anymore. So now that most of you know I sold my home, that's where that part goes in.
Okay.
And last November, and moved in with my daughter, and of course that was a hard decision, but best for me and my family. I needed to be with my daughter and
Son-in-law.
and my son-in-law, and of course I got the grandkids next door too.
Dave, I forgot about you.
Yeah, I forgot about Dave. Well, and you know, when I moved in with my daughter, the other three said, "Oh, thank God," you know. So they were all happy about that. So, well, anyhow, we did have a good time at the senior center, and Kathy has made it so much fun for us. I think the luncheon has been the highlight of the day. So, just has the meal's been very, very good, and by the way, any of you that need some toilet paper, Karen and Dave have Sharon
And Larry.
Sharon and Larry, oh, wrong kid, has 38 rolls they can help you out with. So just give us a call. They live down there on I think it's called 100 North, down before you go around the curve. And they got all kinds of toilet paper. So all you guys have a good time. I love you.
Wasn't that fun to see Aggie? Queen Aggie. Oh, I don't want to forget that. Her Royal Highness Aggie. It was a delight getting to visit her and see where she's living. As she said, she's living with her daughter in a lovely home. She's kind of got the whole top floor to herself, and she's got it just fixed up lovely. She's got a little terrace that she can go out and sit on amongst the trees. She's living like a queen, and she misses all of us. And it was good to hear Aggie. It was good to hear her talk about how things change sometimes, and you still have a little ache and pain here, and life goes on, and you find good things wherever you're at. Sometimes that's a little harder than usual, and I know the past few months have been hard for many of you. It's hard to be just stuck in, period. If you've got health problems on top of that, it makes it even more difficult. For folks that are in nursing homes and in hospitals, oh my gosh, the isolation. And I've kind of had a little bit of an idea about that with my son, who was supposed to start chemo, and they had to delay it because of that. But he, as of the time you're listening to this, will have had 2 treatments out of the 12 that he's going to have, and we're very optimistic that we'll put her in remission, and things are going to be good there. He feels great. He looks great. He's as ornery as ever, for those of you that know him well, and he's been eating good at my house the past few weeks. Another concern at my house has been, of course, my music partner, Robin Hopkins. He has been extremely ill. He developed a syndrome a month ago called Guillain-Barré, which basically left him paralyzed from the neck down for about 10 days, and just a terrifying experience. but he is doing better. I'm happy to say he's moved to a rehab hospital where he has learned to walk again. Some of you can relate to that. Those of you that have broken bones and had to go to rehab, he's learned how to do that. He's using his arms and his hands again. Played a guitar even the other day. Not long, but he's developing the strength and the ability to do those fingerings and things again. So it's kind of been a long haul. And honestly, for me, somebody who's usually always bright and cheery and positive, it was kind of hard for me to be bright and cheery and positive for a while. You can ask Chuck, but I'm not going to let him talk because he'll tell you too much. But I had many cards from you folks along the way, and notes and little emails and things, and I certainly appreciate all your support. And everything was looking a little better, and then the 1st of May came along, and I went out to the mailbox starting on the 4th of May, and there were stacks of cards in there for me, all kinds of cards. My birthday is the 5th of May, and I usually get just a few cards every year, but I mean, they were stacked full. And I would open cards, and there were lovely notes written in them, and little bookmarks tucked in them, and handmade cards that people had put so much love in. And I got them on the 3rd, and I got them on the 4th, and I got them on the 5th. And it was just wonderful. I have never, ever had anybody ever send me so many cards in my life. And I cannot tell you how happy I was that you all thought of me on my birthday. It meant so much. And then on my birthday, I was taking it kind of easy, and I got a text. In fact, I was just getting into the bathtub, and I got a text from Susan Collins. And Susan said, "Are you home?" And I thought, no, I'm not home. Well, I hadn't quite gotten the bathtub. I still had my robe on, and I kind of peeked around the corner to look out the front window, and there she was in her truck. And so I thought, I said, I'm here, and I ran to the door in my robe, looking like a ninny, and here she came. And if you want to see that that's really the truth, I really did run to my robe in a ninny with my hair a mess. Get this burned into your brain, because you'll never see me looking like this again, I promise. Anyway, and she had this wonderful quilt for me. I didn't even mind that it said 62, which sounds older all the time. Happy 67th birthday to Kathy. All these beautiful, different kinds of crazy quilt squares and flowers. She even embroidered my cat down here in the bottom, old Tom. He kind of looks like a Siamese, and she went to trouble with that, and she knows I love butterflies, and it was just a delightful. She stayed 6 feet away from me, I promise, and I was just tickled to death. And out of that few weeks of feeling just about as lousy as anybody could feel, or down, all of a sudden everything was bright and cheery because of all of you who showed me so much love along the way. And I cannot thank you enough or tell you how much it meant to me. And that kind of brings me to the last thought for my Kathy's Corner today. One thing I want to do every week is I'd like for all of us to find someone. We'll have a name each week of somebody that needs just a little cheering up. It doesn't have to be your birthday. It's good to get cards just whenever, encouragement cards along the way. And you might think of people that are within our senior community that maybe they don't have access to the internet, so they're not even getting to log on and look at these fun things that everybody at the senior center has planned for you. So they're really even feeling more isolated, and you might try to think of people like that, and let me know if you can think of a name. I have someone today that I want us to card shower next week. Joyce Rumpel is a little lady that's been a part of our senior center for the last three or 4 years, I guess she's been coming. And little tiny gal, she's a retired nurse. She doesn't live far from Fairland, and she lives alone. She has just a wonderful spirit. She can talk to you just about anything. She loves basketball, and she loves flowers, and she loves her garden to look, her yard to look just perfect. Every time I drive by, it just looks perfect. She's a neighbor of Dawn Rayburn's. Dawn goes down and gives her haircut every once in a while. Although, like me, she was feeling a little shaggy the other day. I stopped by her house and sat outside as she sat up in the window in her kitchen and talked to me. Joyce is trying to keep her spirits up too. She's a cancer patient and had been shut in really before we got shut down with this darn virus. So it's been a long time since Joyce has been out and about. And I think that she would be delighted if you can go through your cards. I got mine ready to go to her. It's just a thinking of you card. It's one that Charlene McCauley, bless her heart, her sister sends cards from Texas to me all the time. Just says, wishing you a beautiful day. It has a little scripture in it. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Hand make one. Just say, hope you have a great day. The sun, sun is shining in your heart or something. Be creative. I know you all can. And let's see if we can't make Joyce Rumpel the recipient of our card shower this week. Here is her address. Joyce Rumpel, see if I can read backwards, 3593 North, 425 West, and that is Fairland, Indiana, 46126. And let's see if we can't make her day like all of you made my day on May the 5th. Thank you so, so much. I'm not sure what we're going to have next week, but be sure and tune in next week for Kathy's Corner. And in the meantime, behave yourselves, stay safe, and I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye, folks.